What's going on, everybody? Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. And, yeah, first thing to talk about, I'm going to do kind of a mini review of Survivor Series, not too in-depth. But I did watch it. I didn't watch it the night of the show because I decided to watch the Giants. And, great game, guys, but come on. The turnovers will fucking kill you. Yeah, the pay-per-view. I felt like it was the tale of two halves. And from what I've read and watched in other reviews, a lot of people seem to agree with me. First half of the show was pretty good. The three undercard matches that I put over in last week's video actually turned out to be the three best matches on the show. Ted DiBiase and Daniel Bryan, great match. Morrison and Sheamus was exactly what I said it would be. Really enjoyed that match. Ziggler and Low-Ki, that was a good match. Enjoyed that. The Survivor Series match was good, and not the greatest elimination match I've ever seen, but it was solid for what it was. So the first half of the show was pretty enjoyable. Second half, not so much. Of course, when you start off the second half of the show with Lay Cool, that's not a very good start. I know it was just a filler match, but I still just don't like watching them. The tag title match was abysmal, mainly because I just don't like Santino's character, and I don't like the Cobra as a finisher, and how they set it up as like this dreaded move that has to be avoided or else the match is over. I just don't buy it, don't believe it. It sucks. And we got an appearance from the Raw GM. Yay. At this point, can we just assume that the Raw GM is the laptop? Because, seriously, it seems like that's the point that they're trying to get across. Like, I don't know, I've been joking that the Raw GM is actually Skynet or the HAL 9000. They should do that. Like, they should do a segment where some guy's, like, pissed off and he's like, I want to go to SmackDown, I hate Raw. And the Raw GM's like, I'm afraid I can't let you do that. And then the ring, like, opens up and eats him or something. You know, they've done stranger things. Why not? And if you're going to be ridiculous, might as well go all the way with it. But, yeah, and then we had the two main events. Edge and Kane was terrible. Awful, awful match. But when you have a dumb storyline, it yields a dumb match with a dumb ending. That makes the dumb storyline feel pretty damn pointless. Why has nobody called the cops on Edge for kidnapping Paul Bearer? And are they going to call the cops that he apparently murdered him? I don't know. We shall see, I guess. But yeah, I just hate the storyline. I don't like Kane as champion, and I just want it to end as quickly as possible. And then we had Orton and Barrett was seen as the referee. And the whole time, the match wasn't that good, but I expected that because I'm just not a big fan of Barrett. It was a pretty paint-by-numbers match. But I sat there the whole time waiting for Cena to do something. And the anticipation of the match was centered around Cena. I'm like, okay, what's he going to do? Is he going to screw Orton? Is he going to get mad at Barrett and beat the piss out of him? Is he going to, get mad at Barrett and accidentally hit Orton and cost him the title or whatever? I mean, there's a million different things they could do. And they really didn't do anything. You just kind of gave Barrett a love tap, RKO, and it was over. And I just felt like, well, that was kind of a waste. All the different things you could have done, and you went with the most boring option. And now there's talk that he's going to come out as Juan Cena in a mask. And all I can think of is like, yay, Mr. America. Because it worked so well when they did it with Hogan, you know? Yeah, so Survivor Series, first half was pretty good. Second half was, to be perfectly honest, downright awful. If you can get your hands on the first half of the show somehow, watch it. You'll get plenty of great wrestling action. Of course, when you put it in the hands of guys like Low-Ki and Daniel Bryan, who I think is having the best matches in the WWE right now. Morrison, Sheamus, guys like that who are really good workers. You're going to get good wrestling action. Alright, the other major thing that I wanted to talk about this week was The Miz cashing in the Money in the Bank and becoming the new WWE Champion. Before I get to Miz, I wanted to talk about the Money in the Bank specifically and why these shock title changes aren't really doing it for me anymore. And the reason these Money in the Bank title changes don't really do it for me anymore is because they happen all the time. It's become very repetitive. We've had 3 of them this year alone. Is this going to be it now? We're going to have these kind of title changes 3 times a year now? Really? And I remember when Edge did it the first time in 2006. It was awesome, and nobody expected it, and it was great. But, if you do it in succession, you do it all the time, and year after year you keep doing it, it starts to lose its luster after a while. It would be like if at the Royal Rumble they had number one go all the way and win it every year. It wouldn't be as much. It wouldn't mean as much. And we're getting that way with Money in the Bank. I also feel like it's almost become an excuse not to build somebody up. You know, they'll put somebody on a losing streak and then say, oh, he has Money in the Bank. He doesn't need to win. He'll just get the title in 3 months. It doesn't matter if we build him up. And things of that nature. It almost feels like they put the title on somebody to help get them over when they really should already be over when they win the title. I mean, it's been a long time since I felt like a first-time champion was really ready and a well-nurtured character to be the World Heavyweight Champion. The last time I felt that way was probably Edge in 2006, where when he won the belt, I was like, fuck yeah, rated R superstar. I'm ready for a new era, bitches. He's fucking ready. But other than that, it's just... I don't know. I think the Money in the Bank has gone a long way to damaging a proper build-up for a guy. Now, if they're going to keep doing Money in the Bank, I would want them to try and find new ways to do the cash-in. My idea is to use it as an insurance policy, kind of like what Edge did at first, where he tried to earn title shots while he still had Money in the Bank, reasoning that, you know, if he had multiple title shots, eventually he's going to win. And that makes sense. There are a load of things they could do. I've even thought about what if they have somebody win the title while he still has the Money in the Bank. Then if you want to take the belt away from him, you have to beat him twice. Yeah, just things to think about. Just doing the shock title win every year I think is getting old, stale, and repetitive. So why not try and find new ways to spice it up a little bit and make it interesting? Find other loopholes to work around with the Money in the Bank rather than just cash in whenever you want, whenever the champion's hurt. Because it's almost like whenever the champion does get hurt, we almost expect that guy's music they hit to come run out with the Money in the Bank. But, yeah, going to The Miz, if you've watched my previous videos, you know I'm a fan of the guy. I don't think he's the greatest in-ring talent, but I think he's good enough to get by, and I think he's very good at projecting his character and presenting himself in the ring that he's fine. And I don't necessarily object to him getting the title, but I do have my problems with the way they did it. Again, I'm not a fan of the Money in the Bank shock title win anymore. And I wish they had nurtured his character a little bit before they pulled the trigger on this. My idea, actually, was to have him win the Royal Rumble, face the champion at WrestleMania, and then say, I'm coming out of WrestleMania with the belt, hell or high water, you're going to have to beat me twice or something. Or maybe even find a way to make people forget that he has the Money in the Bank. I don't know, it'd be kind of hard to do. And once he loses, he wallops the guy upside the head after the match and then just cashes in and wins. Basically, the point is have Miz be the guy that you have to beat twice in order to walk out of Mania with your title. And they could have built Miz up along the way and had him cut promos and had him win matches and heading into Mania and get a full head of steam going and great momentum. Just some ideas thrown out there, but... like I said, I'm a fan of the guy. Congratulations to him. I hope this works out. I don't think his title win was as bad as, say, Swagger or Sheamus, which came out of nowhere, but we'll see how he does. I am definitely going to tune into Raw next week to see how everything goes. Like I said, I really like the guy. Been singing his praises for a long time, and I think he could do really well if booking is on his side. If he's booked to be a disaster, he will be a disaster. And I hope they don't do that. I hope he gets a good solid reign out of it. I don't know. I think it's going to be Orton and Cena at WrestleMania, so I don't expect him to hold it that long. But again, there's 100 different things they can do between then and now, so we'll see.